Hi, Tom Coley, coach for Buckeye Cable System and BCSN, and it's really an honor and a privilege for me to welcome in two stalwarts of the Scott High School football team. 8-2 guys, Dakarai Adams and Coach Daniels, Coach Mike Daniels. Guys, 8-2. You know, I was in on I didn't make any predictions on where people were finished because of you guys going 8-2. Because I don't believe in that. I think every year is a new year, and but all the prognosticators, there was no one in town that had Scott down 8-2. Nobody. And you guys did it, Dakarai. I know the new field was an incentive. We chatted about that before. I get that, but it had to be more than that. What was it this year, Dakarai, to allow? Because it's been 29 years since Scott had that kind of record in football. What was it that made this year so special?
I would have to say that we were more disciplined, and like the seniors, we had leadership on the team this year, and we had pushed everybody to come in the summer to work out and become a better team.
Yeah, I know you have a brilliant coach. I know how much you respect Coach Daniels, as I do, as not just a coach, but a gentleman that cares about you as a person, cares about you in the classroom and all those things. But was it partially, Dakarai, almost self-policing in some ways? Because all the good football teams I've been on or coached, guys had a little self-policing. When you see one of your guys doing something that they shouldn't be doing, or maybe they're thinking of cutting a class or they're not doing the right thing in the school, some of the leaders on the team say, hey, knock it off. Was it some of that?
Yes, it was. Like for myself, and also Kevin Banks, and the running back, we had class with some of the teammates, and if we see them slacking off, we'll tell them to do their work and stop joking around, or maybe if they even just need help on the homework or the assignment we're doing, we just help them in.
Coach Daniels, how rewarding has this been for you? You're a guy that has been there day in and day out, putting in the work, telling people it's going to happen. We're going to be there. We're going to win a championship. We're going to do it. Right. And then to have it come to fruition, that's kind of like a Hollywood movie.
I relished the moment. I took it all in, at the end. I mean, it was a long time for us to get to where we were, but I knew eventually we would get there. And, it was just a process. It was like a rebuilding stage in the beginning when I first got there. And then I'll say maybe year 4 is when I started to see things turn around. Guys started to buy into what we were doing. And then last year, we kind of started off slow, and then we kind of took off at the end. And we just took that momentum and just took it into this year. And as you saw with our record and the way we played, we played outstanding.
Coach and Dakarai, every good football team who's trying to realize that they're good, there's a moment where they realize it. There's a light switch moment. They're playing somebody, and then suddenly the light switch goes on, and guys start looking around. They say, you know what? We can be good. What was the light switch moment?
I think the light switch moment was when we played Lorraine. We played them there, and we competed with them throughout basically the whole first half, going from the third quarter. Quarterback gets hurt. We had to throw Kevin in quarterback, and we kind of just fell off the radar after that during that game. But that was that moment that we knew that we could compete with anybody, because they were a strong team, and they were a playoff team this year. So it's always good to play teams that you play a tough schedule so that it prepares you as you keep going along during the year. And I think that game was that moment where we say, okay, we know we can play with anybody as long as we just do what we're supposed to do.
We couldn't be prouder of you. 8-2.
Appreciate it.
Scott Bulldogs. You got to be feeling good, guys, because we're feeling good for you.
City champs, too.
City champs. Great job, guys.
No problem. Thanks.
Tom Coley, coach for BCSN.